Hi, it's Elaine with MCPS Technology. Let's dig into Google Slides, an incredibly versatile application. There's so many things you can do just with the insert menu. Let's we can't cover it all. That would take days, but let's look at some of the highlights of the things that you can do in Slides. In our last tutorial, we talked about importing slides, picking and choosing them and bringing them in. Something I actually forgot to mention to you was that you can also copy slides. So if I have another presentation open, and right now I have Pigs Are Amazing, I'm starting a new presentation. And by the way, pigs are amazing, really. But if I had another presentation open and I'm just going to go to this tab here, and let's say I would like to bring in this slide, I want to just copy it. So if I click on this slide and I do Control C and I come back to my current presentation and I do Control V to paste, notice I can bring that slide in rather easily. But here's the extra cool thing. I have the option to link this slide. And what that means, of course, is that if I update the slide in my other presentation, it will also update in this presentation. And that is the beauty of the Google ecosystem, one of the things. So I just wanted to make sure I shared that. I have some blank slides here just because I just would like to show you some of the things that we can do. On a blank slide, on any slide, you can right click and change the background. So I have the option to just choose a color, and notice I can also choose an image for the background. If I click on that, I can even take a snapshot of myself using the webcam and make that the background. I'm going to say no thanks to that, or I can search the web. For now, I'm just going to choose a color to show you how easy it is to change the background of a slide. And of course, we talked about themes last time. You can also choose a theme. Something you may remember from the old Microsoft Word is word art. So it's really simple. In fact, let's take on the insert menu, which is huge, but let's start with word art. So if I go to insert and I choose word art, and then I just type in this box what word art is really designed for, like titles. So I'm just going to say again, pigs are amazing, and hit enter. And that brings in a very simple Arial, a very boring color. But once I've clicked on this, notice as I told you last time, you get extra menus when you click on something. I can go up and change the fill color of this to an interesting color like pink. And I can change this boring font to something a little more exciting. So word art is back. Pigs are amazing. So let's talk about inserting some images. So I'm going back to insert and I'm going to choose image. And notice I have lots of options here. I'm going to choose search the web. And notice how that brings up a convenient window right inside my presentation. So let's search pigs. It's super easy to bring in images into Google Slides. I can simply pull an image over and drop it, and it will appear in my slide presentation. If it isn't the size I want, I can resize it from the corner, which helps keep the aspect ratio. Once I click on this image, I also get extra menus. So up here, I can find format options, and that has to do with my image. So I can recolor my image. I can actually make it look really funky. I can do all sorts of things here. So I can make adjustments. I can make my picture more transparent. So you can really dig into this and find out a lot of things about inserting images. One other thing I'd like to show you too regarding inserting images is this. It's really easy to find an image with a transparent background, and all you really have to do is include that in your search parameter. So let's say I want a shamrock with transparent background. And typically it'll come up once you start typing it. So Of course, what I mean by transparent background is that when I bring the image into my document, into my slide, that it won't have that ugly white background behind it. So let's see how that works. I'm dragging this really cool shamrock into my slide, and notice I can move it over here. It doesn't have a background. So that's how easy it is to get a transparent background into a slide. I can also insert shapes. So I'm going back to insert and I'm going to choose shape, and then I'll choose arrow, and how about just a regular old arrow? So then I can draw that. And again, I can go to fill color. I can make my arrow, well, how about red? I can also insert on top of that a text box where I can write words like, click here for pigs. And then I can make that a link if I want. I can highlight the text, go back to insert, click on link, and of course I could go to this icon, and I can even search inside here. So here's the pigsite.com. I'm just going to apply that to the link, and there I have made an arrow. I've colored it. I've put a text box on top, and I've made a link. Absolutely anything can become a link. I can also insert charts. So in the very much the same way that we linked the slide from the other presentation, you can also insert charts. And you can do that directly from Sheets. So if I have a sheet that I know has a chart, and I do, I just searched it to make sure, I can click on that. I can import that chart, and I can link it. First I have to click on it, then click import, and my chart's going to come in. Here's the beauty of that, just like with the other slide that we brought in. If that chart updates, then it updates here in my slide in real time. I'd also like to show you how incredibly easy it is to insert videos. Go back to insert video, and if I already know the address to my video, then I can just paste that address in this box. If I don't, I can actually search right from this box. So I'm searching pigs, and of course, if I were doing this for a real presentation, I would watch the video in advance. I would never just bring in a video without knowing what I'm bringing in. But look how simple this is. So it comes in as an embedded video. I can move it around. I can do lots of things with it. Once I've clicked on this video, if I go to format options, I can even control how much plays back. I can start it at a certain point. I can cause it to autoplay when my presentation is going. So you got tons of options in here, and it plays with no ads, which is another advantage of Google Slides, bringing in video. So let's look. Well, I think that's, oh, I can't go without talking about inserting comments. Comments are one of the best features, of course, of all Google type documents. So over here is my comment history, where I can look at all the comments. But if I want to insert a comment, I can simply click on this link, or I can go back to insert. And so just like with other Google applications, I can comment back and forth with people I might be collaborating with. I can tag them by using a plus sign and their email. And so I also have things like version history, which is under File, very useful to me as an educator, or if someone messes up your presentation. You can also insert transitions and animations. I'm not going to get into that because it's pretty intricate, but just like with PowerPoint, you can make your presentation more interesting by using transitions and things like that. One last thing I'd like to show you is that you have two views down here. You may not have known this. So we have film strip view, which is what we're actually in right now, where you have your main slide that you're working on in the middle and you have all your other slides on the left. Or we can actually use grid view, and this can be really useful in the classroom because you can move your slides around and rearrange them quite easily. As you can see, Google Slides is incredibly versatile, flexible, and I know that you're going to want to dig into it.